About a different game, everybody.
Kirby.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, Star-Crossed, or plus Star-Crossed Worlds. Because Nintendo just insists
They want it to roll off
on
the tongue.
having the most words on their box art as humanly freaking possible. At least this is all actually on the card itself, so we don't get that little disclaimer on the bottom of the box art. But the game is finally upon us, coming out, I think tomorrow it is, for everyone to be able to play. Obviously, this is just the Switch 2 edition of a game that we all loved when it came out on the Switch a couple years ago. I loved it probably even more, I would say. Like, the more I reflect on Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the more I play it and listen to the music and just vibe with it, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is an all-timer for me. Like, I really feel like I continue to just be more and more nostalgic for it, and just so happy that a Nintendo IP that I've always kind of been cool with but never really found one that was like, I love this game, to finally have that now when Nintendo Directs come up, I'm hoping I see Kirby. That's awesome. I feel like we can look at the tiers of Nintendo games, and I feel like Kirby and the Forgotten Land has put the character Kirby, but even just like the core games of the series, maybe 2 to 3 tiers up from where I used to place them. Not quite that S tier Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong Bonanza type thing, but right underneath that. And I obviously, from a gameplay perspective, can compare it a lot to Astrobot and Mario 3D World, 2 games that I love very dearly. And this is different than those. I feel like it is a lot less difficult overall and less challenging. It's a bit more focused on, and those games do this as well, but a bit more focused on the amusement park, like the queue matters as much as the ride matters type mentality.
That's cool.
Where it's like every single thing, whether it's the world map or just the walking through the levels, it might not be incredibly challenging, but it's incredibly rewarding, because every time you do something, you're getting a fun little animation or a music cue or just a camera pivot that was like a design choice to make you feel good, I can really sum it up in just, it's a simply wonderful game. And this is all talking about the original game. So jumping into the Switch 2 edition, it's been inconsistent the last couple months with Nintendo and the Switch 2 editions of what we should expect and what we're actually getting from them, because we had the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom at launch. Those were also updates you get if you have NSO and own the original games. You get the performance upgrades there, but then you also got the Zelda maps, and you got a bunch of like little things that overall I don't feel like are worth the $20 upgrade package upcharge. If they were to do that, I think it was $10 for Zelda. But you look back even before Switch 2 editions, there was the first example really of this, which is Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, right? A report of a game, adding a whole new game within it that on the menu is a different thing. Then there's Mario Party Jamboree, which was not great. And it was very clunky how they integrated the stuff. You're getting no performance upgrades at all from the Mario Party Jamboree side. But then adding Jamboree TV mode, it's a standalone thing. That's cool. It's gimmicky. That's the purpose. It's using the camera, using the mouse controls. Like, cool, nothing bad to say there. It's just in terms of like an overall package, not that exciting. So coming into this, it was like, all right, cool, we know we're getting Star-Crossed Worlds, but what is that? Like, is it a Bowser's Fury style standalone game? Is this more akin to just DLC coming into the original game as its own? Are we getting a whole new world in the game to play through? And it's none of that, which I was kind of surprised by. This does function more like, I'd say, old school, more traditional DLC, where it is about a third of the game's content in additional. So,
okay.
Like the original game had, it's like 6 worlds with like 5 levels each. Right. This has 12 new levels that they're adding. They're adding 2 levels in each world, which I didn't expect them to do it that way. So it's not its own separate thing. It's actually remixing all the levels, or not all, but 12 of the levels, 2 in each world as you go through.
So you're revisiting a lot of stuff.
Yes, but it's not just, you're playing through the same levels again. It kind of starts that way in the first level, and then like the mall level, because I think that they wanted to remind us of like, hey, remember those good times you had a couple years ago? Like how nice that was.
This game kicked ass.
They let you get to like specific moments and like have that kind of just nostalgic moment of like, oh, I remember this. But then they twist it, and from then on out, all of the remixes are like you're in totally different areas of the original levels. Like you're not going through the exact same platform challenges. Like these crystals fall from the sky and just totally change the level layout and even the routes that you're taking. And some of them are more extreme than others, but one of the things I love most about this game is just the production values and like every single screen. There's no camera control. Like they designed this game to be very, very simple. So as you're moving through it, they're always guiding you to what they want you to be seeing. And as you can see here, you're in this in the amusement park level, and paths start to open up that all of a sudden there's now a roller coaster that in the original game you never went on. But now you get to go onto that roller coaster track, and there's a whole bunch of challenges there. Or one really cool one is the second world is the beach world. There's a lot of swimming in the ocean. Kirby has his little inflatable tube going on as he's like swimming around. And in this, when the crystals crash into the level, it causes like a biblical type splitting of the seas. And all of a sudden,
let my people go, Kirby said.
But it's like all of a sudden the same level you explored before that you're on top of the water. Now you're just on the ground of like what the sand and all this stuff is. So it's a completely new level just in the look and style of what that old level was, with remixes to the original themes, a whole bunch of new music. Like there's a lot of great stuff there. So it was interesting to me, just the presentation of it all. But it's hard to review this game and actually put a score on it because there's a lot of, well, if this, then that type things. Because
does it feel additive? Like
absolutely. But it's tough for me to recommend this to everybody. Again, I truly love this game, and if you haven't played Kirby, this is the way to play it. I think the way that the DLC is integrated is incredible for people coming back because it's really easy for us to just kind of pop in and get to it. But the way that they kind of like open up the different levels within the worlds, if you were playing this for the first time, it'd feel like an incredibly complete experience. Not that the original didn't, but I think it just integrated so well and it makes so much sense that it doesn't feel like, we're just getting more. It's like, oh no, this is like just as quality, if not more quality than what we got in the core game. But the pricing of it all just gets so weird. And I keep harping on pricing recently, and I feel like I might be getting annoying about it. But it's like, hey, I'm annoyed about this shit. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that this game's $80. Like,
I was gonna let you know I've been kind of annoyed recently.
I'm sure. But
How much was it originally on Switch?
What's up? It was $60.
It was $60, and then it's the $20 upgrade pass.
So that's my thing. It's like $20 for what we get here. I really love what we got, but is it worth $20? And if I were to be reviewing this a decade ago as a DLC package that was coming to different games, like even a Spider-Man, the Insomniac DLC stuff, like thinking about what you're getting for the price, it's like $20 is a lot of money, man. And I love it. It was worth it to me, but like, I don't think that that's the right price. I don't think that they deserve that. Like, I feel like it's kind of just, this is not worth paying $20 to upgrade the edition. I don't think. And like, I know you guys love this game. I don't know that it's worth that, to go back to it. Having said that, it's like, God, it's so good, but I really am bothered by that price point. And I think that when the total package of it being $80, so someone coming into this for the first time and paying $80 for it, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's you're totally dead on with that, because I think of what every other publisher and developer does. Well, most of them at least. I think of Lies of P coming out with one of the best DLCs I've ever experienced with Overture, and it's $30. And if you want to play a lot of people who played Lies of P played on Game Pass, and then Game Pass got taken away. And they were like, fuck, I want to play the DLC, but it's not on Game Pass anymore. Well, Lies of P, the core game, goes down to $30. And then that becomes a bit easier of a justification to go, all right, the game that came out 3 years ago, just like Kirby and Forgotten Land came out 3 years ago or whatever, that the core game is now down to $30 or $40, and the DLC is $20 on top of that. That makes a lot more sense. But you're charging, if you were to sort of like do the percentages, it's like, yeah, $20 for this DLC and $60 for a game that came out 3 years ago. It's like, why is that original price not cheaper?
Yeah.
All you unlocked you opened the valve to make the frame rate better, but like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and again, that comes back to the inconsistencies so far of how Nintendo has handled its Switch 2 editions, but then also its patches just for performance things. And, the performance of this game was never a highlight, but I also don't think that it was in comparison to most other Nintendo games of its ilk. I don't think that the performance was a true issue. Like, it always stayed, it was tried to be a capped 30, and it would dip to 20 something every once in a while, but overall the gameplay feel was fine.
When it was never the focus of my experience, that's how I know that it was good enough.
Yeah.
Where I'm not like, but this always looked like shit. It always looked good.
And well, the thing is, it played right. Like, the Kirby being 30 frames per second as you move him around, I think really like worked because the art design of this game is impeccable, and it's so weird. Like, there's nothing quite like it. When we first saw the trailer, and it's like, Last of Us Kirby, LOL. What are we doing here? The game commits to it in such an insane way that, like, I don't want to spoil anything, even if, like, you know what I'm talking about if you played this game. It goes some places, like, towards the end that are just weird. And this DLC continues to do that. Like, it continues
to real biblical
to lead into some weird stuff. But because of that, it has this kind of very unique look that jokingly was popularized after with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, of just everything looking like stop motion. You know, and it's like Scarlet and Violet, you see the windmills and it looks like absolute shit. But in Kirby, because of the art design and because you're not moving the camera around and how it guides you, when there were enemies in the background that were kind of moving in stop motion, it kind of felt like it was part of the design. It didn't feel like it was like, oh, this is absolute trash. Every once in a while, it'd be like, oh man, I really wish this was running better. And then you play this version, you're like, oh, this is how they wanted it to run.
No, I bet you it looked real good on that LCD screen. Imagine if it was an OLED.
Man.
Don't get me fucking started.
One day.
Don't get me fucking started.
Dude, I saw an OLED the other day. Almost blew my mind. I was like, man, let's bring this back.
God, bring it back,
all the
please.
colors.
But yeah, the performance in this version, I didn't have frame counters up. I don't freaking know. It felt like it was running at 60 the entire time. Like, there's a Barrett. One of the links I gave you is from Nintendo Life. They did a graphics comparison of the 30 versus 60. So I do think that that goes a incredibly long way for making this game play better, because the game is so action focused. Like, specifically towards the end of the game, like, it is more an action game than it is a platformer in some ways. Like, when you're facing off against the bosses and using all your different abilities as they're like maxed out. In terms of performance, very, very impressed with the frame rates. In terms of the resolution, it is clearly much better than the original. I'm still not stoked about it, though. It's not as sharp as I'd want it to be playing on my TV. Playing on the Switch handheld, Switch 2 handheld, it was fine. But to Andy's point, no OLED is an incredible bummer for a game this vibrant and colorful. So I play it on my TV vast majority of the time. And definitely could have been sharper. It is clearly not 4K. And that's a bummer when we're talking about an $80 game that came out years ago. And what they're giving us isn't necessarily that much. I saw Kebabs in this chat saying $20 is a third of the price, and it's the third of the content. But it is just remixed at the end of the day. There is a lot of additions. There's a lot of really cool stuff. But there's just something overall that I think that this is not something I'd recommend to every single person that played the first round. I would recommend to anybody that didn't play it the first time. But if you're like, man, you go for some Kirby, Bless and Andy and Barrett, do it. I do think it's worth jumping back in there. This episode's brought to you by Xreal. As of August 25th, Xreal 1 Pro is finally available on Amazon and BestBuy.com. Plus, it's back in stock now on Xreal.com. A few months ago, my life changed forever when I brought a pair of Xreal 1 Pro AR glasses on a incredibly long flight to New York City. I legit could not believe how easy it was to use and how high quality my experience was playing games with my Steam Deck and watching movies with my phone on the plane on a theater-sized OLED screen right in front of my eyes without too much extra stuff or a giant goofy headset involved. No joke, this is my favorite new piece of tech in years, and it has earned a permanent spot in my travel bag. It's only hard to believe it works as well as I'm saying until you try Xreal AR glasses for yourself, and then you will see that the tech is here. Connect Xreal 1 Pro glasses to whatever you're playing, like a handheld console, PC, phone, or home console, and get a massive 150-inch virtual screen anywhere, anytime for any game. Gaming on the go like a long flight? You need X-Real 1. Neck starting to hurt from staring down at your handheld? You need X-Real 1. It's plug and play with all your devices via USB-C, built-in audio with sound by Bose, anchoring your screen literally anywhere in space, 1080p Full HD, and you can make it bigger, smaller, farther, closer, ultra-wide, or regular widescreen, horizontal, vertical, even 3D if you have a 3D movie. It's all built in and can be controlled by pressing a few buttons on the glasses. These are what make X-Real 1 Pro a must-have. X-Real 1 Pro is now available on Amazon and BestBuy.com, and from August 25th through September 1st, you can get $50 off if you bundle the X-Real 1 Pro with the X-Real Beam Pro AR mobile device on Amazon or xreal.com. There is nothing better than when a sponsor of Kinda Funny is something we are legitimately obsessed with. So get yours today at kindafunny.com/xreal. That's kindafunny.com/xreal.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think the price conversation is so interesting. I think Andy enlightened me with how we see prices go down over time, and that's not something I considered, but it's something that I think you absolutely hit the nail on. Because like I think of the times that I bought and played DLC, and like Prey Moon Crash, for example, I bought Prey for probably like $10 or $15 or something, because I played in like 2022, and then Moon Crash was an extra $10, and I'm like, I don't think about that, right? Or like when I buy a fighting game that has been out for a while with all the DLC characters, again, over time, that's come down in price. And I think you make a really good point. I'm curious to know if you were to put the Nintendo executive hat on and you're trying to figure out how to package these things, like, do you have a direction that you'd like to see this stuff go? Because I think Nintendo is in a weird spot because their stuff just never comes down in price. They're releasing these editions that now get bumped back to full price.
Yeah, but above full price.
Full price, yeah.
That to me is, I think, the thing that gets real hinky with it. I do think there just has to be a willingness to have games come out at a cheaper price point. And they do that every once in a while. But I feel like recently they've been making some calls that I don't think are in service of them actually making more money at the end of the day. When we look at Donkey Kong Country Returns, like the price of that is unacceptable, just simply unacceptable for a game that is a port of a Wii game, a fucking Wii game. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? And again, this goes back to the Metal Gear Solid Delta conversation I'm having of, okay, if you're going to charge full price, it better run perfectly if the whole reason you're paying is that it's going to run better and look better. But all that performance bullshit aside, talking about the game, we are in the golden age of 3D platformers, and we just continue to be. And the fact that this game's getting DLC at all is so special to me. I love that it happened, and if it's going to come at that premium, like, I guess that's the price that it has to cost. And to be clear to everybody, like, I know there's going to be a lot of people like, you get all the games free, While that is true, I buy games. I specifically buy games that I love and games that I want to support. I buy Nintendo games constantly, and it's getting really hard for me to look at that checkout page and be like, $80?
Yeah.
And
if I could jump in on all your, because I'm the person that has not played this.
I haven't either.
To your point, the price is a deterrent. I'm not going to spend that. I'll go play something else because I'm not sure, having not played it, if it's worth $80 to me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be way more hesitant to go pick this up at that price point than I would if, say, it came in at 50 or 60. And the fact that Nintendo games just simply never go on sale. So it's like, I can't even go, well, I'll just wait till it goes on sale. I'll still be waiting. I saw someone in the chat even said they've been waiting on Super Mario Odyssey to go for 8 years. So it's like, it's Nintendo. I get it. They do what they do.
A little bit. So like that last sentence sounded like you're a cuss. we got
the point though. We get the point of what you're saying.
Is cutting off. I was just saying that someone in the chat said the Super Mario Odyssey, they've been waiting 8 years for it to go on sale. You know what I mean? So Nintendo's just going to be Nintendo, I guess.
You can get this in 3 years on a Black Friday sale for the low price of $77.99.
And now, okay, so like, let's just keep that in mind, like Tom, on the Nintendo, like to try to get away from the price conversation and like get back more into the core of what is here, like actually reviewing that. The big question was, what is this? Because there has been inconsistencies with all of the Switch 2 editions. And in terms of gameplay, like hours, I would say that this is probably a little less than 3 hours total of like new stuff. Because there's stuff I can't talk about, just straight up from the review embargo. They're like, you can't talk about this stuff, so I won't. But you guys do know there's also a Ultimate Cup ZEX, which is the kind of big boss tournament thing where you go to the Coliseum. There was a whole bunch of those challenges in the original game. This is like the big one of like, let's just put it all in there. And it's over 30-minute gauntlet that is not easy. Like, this is definitely the hardest version, and the ones in the original game were already quite difficult at the higher levels. So there is a fair amount of gameplay here, but it is less than Bowser's Fury overall.
Oh, wow.
And not significantly less than, but it is less than. And Bowser's Fury and Mario 3D World weren't this price back then. So that is, I just think, something for comparison's sake. There's no new abilities or upgrade chains for Kirby's little suck and blow type stuff. But that's fine because the original game had so many, and jumping into it now, like especially with all of them fully kitted out already, like it was just fun. I think the DLC does a great job of constantly in each level giving you enough different varieties of enemies to be able to try out a bunch of different abilities throughout each run, which is super fun. But there is 3 new mouthful modes, which would be Greg's favorite thing. I highly recommend you and Ben play this game.
No, it's already happening. This is very similar to every other Nintendo game I've skipped on the Switch, but now that it's here and it's running best, like, yeah, we're in.
Fucking pumped for Ben to play. Yeah, man, he's gonna become a Kirby.
This is one of the ones. Yeah, he saw it during one of the presentations. Like, can we play that? I'm like, not yet.
So there's these 3 new mouthful modes. Mouthful modes, Greg, if you don't know, are just Kirby sucks big things in, and it's like it's gimmicks that the whole level then becomes
like the classic
around.
when he sucked in the car.
The car was the first
we
one.
We have a mouthful car at home.
It was always my reference point to when I played Astrobot. I was like, oh, this whole part is based around this mechanic. This reminds me exactly of the mouthful mode stuff.
Yep, and the 3 in here are a delight, just like they were in the first game. In the first game, some of them were a little underutilized, I'd say. Like the stairs were a little weird. This one, the sign is the weird one, but it's so fun. It doesn't work the way you'd think. It essentially just turns into snowboarding levels.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And like you're just being able to go through like super fun, high speed thrill rides essentially. And then there's the gear Kirby. This is awesome. This is by far the standout. It feels so good. The HD rumble feels fantastic as you're playing it, and there's some pretty tricky platforming sections of gearing up a wall and jumping over to other walls and all that stuff, and that's great. And then the spring, it functions the way you'd think, but the levels are just very well designed for it. I always say that like the differentiator between a good and amazing 3D platformer is how well it utilizes the gimmicks, and I think that's been Kirby and the Forgotten Land's strong suit, and it continues that with these 3 new mouthful modes. So I definitely think that they did their job here of making everything stand out. And I talk about music a lot, but the music in this game is so goddamn phenomenal, and no matter how much we talk about it, it's not enough.
Yeah.
There are songs in this game, like in the winter levels and stuff, that are up there with like the aquatic ambience from Donkey Kong or Dire Docks, where you hear this shit and you're just like, this doesn't belong. Like, how is this so good? And Kirby continues to do that. And the remixes in this one are so damn good.
There was no exaggeration there. If you have the Nintendo Music app, go listen to one of the fucking winter levels. Like,
I was gonna say they just added Kirby to Nintendo Music, so
dude, it's such a jam, dude.
It's so damn good, man. So yeah, all that stuff together, it's like, God, this game is so worth it. But is it worth $80? That is a big question.
I appreciate you bringing that up as a point. I've been seeing debate in the chat for the last 20 minutes talking about score, or not score, but price, and like how you factor that into a review, and to have a meta conversation about it. I think I think there's so many different kinds of reviews for all things, right? And for video games especially, I think you review them all types of different ways. And, you know, I look at different websites, and I think even between what I see with an IGN review versus a Kotaku review is very different. I think you have people that'll review games as products versus review games just for the art of it. And like for me, I rarely bring price into the equation because I think I am focused on I want to review the art. But I think for the variety of people we have here that play video games, right? Like, I think that's the beauty, that we can come here and review games in different ways and talk about games in different ways. And I think for pretty much all of our audience, right? Like, price is a thing that becomes a factor even more and more nowadays. And so I think for you to bring that in, is very important, and also just very aware as far as, oh yeah, this is the thing that matters to people.
And I mean, just with that, I mean, I don't think I've given my score yet. Like, I give this game a 9 out of 10, and I feel
Amazing.
like that's hard to do though with the price. Like, I really look at that. I'm like, I don't know that like this edition for $80, if like the game to the art of it to me is a 9 out of 10, but it's up to you if that's worth $80, because it's a great time. And I will also say that like there's the right amount of game here for me, and especially with all the DLC that they added, like it is a good amount of content. I do not think this game is content light at all. And I think that if you were to add too much more, it's like it dilutes the greatness of it all and how special this game is. And I think that for 100% seekers, this game is phenomenal. Like there's so much challenge and fun in going through each level. Like the first couple levels, you're going to 100% get all of the missions as you go through on your first time. Very quickly, that's not going to be the case. You're going to be trying to get them all, and you're going to get half of them. And half the fun of this game is going back over and over and like trying to find the one secret path that you didn't see. And it's so damn rewarding constantly. So yeah, incredibly, incredibly high in this game. I think if you haven't played Kirby and the Forgotten Land yet on the Switch 2, this is clearly the best way to play it.
Do you know if there's an upgrade pack? Like, since I have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, am I just paying $20 to
You
play
are,
this?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.